top of the key, launches a three-pointer, and that's perfect.
Look out below! Man, can he dunk!
All Crimson Tide right now. Beware of Alabama in the SEC.
Welcome into this episode of the Nate Oats Show. I'm Roger Hoover alongside the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Nate Oats. And Coach, when we last talked, your basketball team had been at home for a couple of games, a couple of tough losses against Arkansas and Tennessee. Now your team had to go on the road. What were you looking to see going to the Georgia game?
I wanted to see how we'd bounce back after dropping a couple that we felt like we should have won. See how our reaction is going on the road. See if we can bring some energy, some excitement where you don't have the crowd behind you. Just kind of fuel our own passion and energy. I thought we did a pretty good job at Georgia. Offensively, I thought we were really good. I thought maybe one of Kyler's best games he's played all year, but I thought other guys really came in ready to go. Petty played well. I thought Javian played really well for us too. So I thought they answered well, and then got to overtime, and we needed to win a close game on the road. We'd won a close one at home, so I thought it was good. We were able to squeak out a close one on the road and learn how to win a close game.
Most points ever scored by Alabama on the road as we take a look back at the highlights from last Saturday. Again, Kira Lewis Jr., 37 points, setting a new career high.
Yeah, I mean, he was really aggressive. I'd kind of met with him before this game. We needed him to be aggressive. I don't think there's many people that can stay in front of him when he's coming downhill with a full head of steam. We want him to take advantage of as many of those types of opportunities as he could. He's been in the gym a lot lately, working on his shot. Thought his shot was dropping. I think he was 3 of 5 from 3, if I remember right. But, I thought defensively he wasn't bad either. I mean, he's starting to figure it out, kind of play within the system. And, he's long, athletic, and he's playing hard. He can get block shots, deflection, steals, and kind of fuel our offense going the other direction.
37 points, again a new career high, 7 assists, 5 rebounds for Kira Lewis Jr. And also is a big performance by John Petty.
Yeah, I think Petty's really stepped up his leadership, and he did a really good job. I mean, Anthony Edwards supposed to be maybe the top pick in the draft. I thought Petty did a great job on him defensively. It seems when guys get really locked in on defense, they also get their offense going. So, you see he had a few steals, and the job, Edwards kind of reaching there to keep him in front, and Petty coming downhill. So I thought his defense really got going, and then offensively, I mean, he's one of the most talented kids I've ever coached in my life. He can make shots at a high level. He gets it going downhill. His ball handling's gotten better. He's more comfortable handling the ball and getting every possible angle we can on that play. Show off his ball handling there. But he was good. And then Javian, I thought, he played well too. I mean, he got going early and did a good job, finished some buckets for us, and got on the glass and rebounded. We need him playing better as we hit the home stretch here. I thought that was a really good game for him on the road.
Javion Davis with 13 points, 8 rebounds for the Crimson Tide, again against a good Georgia team, especially down low.
Yeah, no, they had good size in there. I mean, you look at the kid Rayshawn Hammonds can play really well, and Tumani Kamara was really athletic. So I thought it was they're decently talented. Georgia's probably top half of the league talent-wise, I think. A little bit younger, but pretty good talented team that Javion had played well, and then obviously Kyra with the 37, Petty played well, but I thought the whole team offensively played pretty well that game.
So again, the Crimson Tide get the 3-point victory on the road in overtime. You got to be glad just how Alabama handled things in those final 5 minutes in the overtime period.
Yeah, it was. We came out. They got down. They had some buckets, but we were able to string together some stops and take care of the ball when we needed to and get some big buckets. So I think our turnovers in that game weren't awful. I think we had 14, but I thought we really took care of it there late when we needed to in that game and kind of sealed the win, made some free throws there late. We didn't go 100%. Some guys would have liked to go 100% and seal it in regulation. They didn't. Thought they had showed some character and some grit by after they maybe missed some free throws that could have won the game. We still made enough to get to overtime, and then we came out in the overtime, won the game.
Here's an all-access look at Alabama's victory in Athens.
tip control by Kyra, and Bama wants to run with numbers. Kyra all the way to the rack, blows by everybody and lays it in. Now JP driving all the way to the rim, reverse layup with the left hand is good. Reese for a dunk as the Tide out-hustles the Dogs to the other end of the floor. Now baseline with it is Kyra, backs it out to the corner again. Kyra rocking a baby, crosses over, goes down, reverse layup is good. Kyra Lewis looking awfully strong here offensively. Petty the other way to Shaq. Catch, shoot, three, bottom. He'll have it stolen away. Bama coming the other direction with Forbes. Nice look ahead to Kyra, lays it in. Didn't care, shot it, scored, and Bama goes back on top. 1 point game, Kyra, count it, he is fouled, and a chance for the and one. And oh, mercy, is he red hot today? Baseline, back to Reese, all alone three, no good. Tip, no good. Tip by Petty to himself. Pump fake, shot, bucket, John Petty getting it done on the glass. Let it fly, shooter. Got it. Cross it over, stepping back, shooting again. It ought to have been shot if it didn't go in. Buries another one. He's got 29 into the front court. Surveying the floor as he's being defended by Kamara. Kyra on the drive to the rack, lays it up and in for two. 34 now for Kyra Lewis. Wheeler driving, they get it on the wing. A three for the Tide is no good. Breathe, people, breathe. Bama gets it done. 105-102, and the Crimson tradition continues. Alabama cuts Georgia's heart out.
Hometown roll, baby.
Great road win. Got us going the right direction. We obviously got a huge one on Wednesday. Together,
We win! Whoa! Red.
Well, it took overtime in Athens for the Crimson Tide to get a win last Saturday, and then Coach will look back at last Wednesday. It was the Crimson Tide taking on the Auburn Tigers, 11th ranked, one of the top teams in the league. What were you looking to see from your basketball team playing Auburn for a second time this year?
Yeah, I wanted to see how they'd respond, play in their gym. We knew they were going to come out fired up, as evidenced by the start to the game. Just wanted to see if our guys could, maintain the intensity that we had at our place. I thought after that rough start to the game, we were pretty good, though. We locked in, did a really good job defensively, especially without really having Herb. He played 7 minutes out of 45. So was pleased with a lot of areas. Just we couldn't have the start we had, and the rebounding really ended up being our Achilles heel. But shot the ball fairly well, hit all the threes we hit, and kind of showed a lot of mental toughness to stay in a game after you're down big to start, and fought our way back in it and got the thing to overtime and just didn't quite have enough there to finish it off.
As Coach mentioned, a tough start for the Crimson Tide as Auburn began the game on a 16-0 run, but then your basketball team was able to outscore Auburn 41-28 down the stretch in the first half.
Yeah, to be down 16-0 and then to go into the half only down 3, I think really showed a lot of fight, a lot of heart, a lot of character from our guys to stay in that. And we started making some shots too. I told the guys, we had some good shots early, just missed them. I said, they'll start dropping. We'll be all right. We gotta get some stops. We got enough stops to make the big run, but we just in overtime. I think they scored on their first 4 trips, so didn't get enough stops when it went to overtime. But we shot the ball fairly well. Now we ended up taking a lot of threes. Petty shot it well. Forbes was 3 of 4. I think Petty was 6 for 11. So some pretty tough shots. Shaq obviously played well. He had 28, he's been pretty good for us all year. So, and then, Kyra with the triple-double, I thought he was in the paint, creating offense for everybody from the first possession we had. So, I was happy Kyra got the triple-double, was able to get recognized for how good he is. But, if it wasn't for Beal's spark in the first half, we probably never cut that thing. I think he came out, had 11 right away in the first half. So, pretty good from everybody. Kind of watching Shaq's highlights, they went to that zone. He ended up getting freed up quite a bit, and he took advantage of it. He had 28, I believe that's a career high for him, and hit the three. Forget what he hit, 7 threes, I think, right? Yeah, that's a lot of threes, especially for a freshman. So, really happy with his play. Herb, kind of a game day decision. Let's try to put him in and see if he can play some defense. So as often as we could, when we knew we were getting a media timeout after, the first whistle after a defense, we put them in, and shoot, we played 7 minutes. We were plus 13, was in the game. Maybe I should have played him a little bit more, even though he wasn't great. You know, couldn't really do much offensively with that cast on his wrist. But man, he's a warrior. He's taking charges, getting rebounds with one hand.
So again, Auburn gets a 4-point victory. Kyra Lewis Jr., the first triple-double for the Crimson Tide since Roy Rogers did so in 1996 against LSU. Part of a terrific effort from your basketball team to come back. And you mentioned it earlier, just the character that this team showed coming back in this basketball game says a lot.
Yeah, they showed a lot. I didn't realize Roy Rogers is the last guy to have one. You'd think it was more of a guard. Did Roy have it with blocks? Or
All blocks, yeah. I think he maybe had 10 assist career at Alabama.
Yeah, so shoot, yeah, that's the different way to do it with the blocks. So, no, pretty impressive for Kyra. Obviously, he would have liked to have gotten it in a win, but I did think we showed a lot of character. You know, with all the injuries we've been through, guys keep fighting. I don't think we've quit ever. So they show a lot of fight, a lot of determination, and we've had all these 1 or 2 possession games. We got to figure out a way to get one more possession to go our way in these games and end up coming out on the right side of the scoring column.
When we come back, we'll have a little bit more fun with the word association game. That's coming up next on the Nate Oats Show. We debuted the word association game on the Nate Oats Show last week. It was so popular, Coach, we're going to bring it back once again.
Shoot, check out, see what words we got.
Again, we'll have a couple quick thoughts on the words that flash at the bottom of the screen. First of all, Giannis.
Shoot, plays for my hometown Milwaukee Bucks. He's one of the best players. Shoot, he might be the best player in the world. I showed a Giannis clip to the team last week, how he's sprinting back with under 30 seconds to go in the game up 11, just how hard he plays when the best player on the best team. There's a reason they're the best team in basketball right now. It's because their best player plays so hard.
Greg Byrne, your boss.
Best AD in the country, right? He hired me, so he's got to be the best AD.
Absolutely.
No, he's been great. I mean, he was good with, Mahomes. I actually gave a couple of my players Patrick Mahomes' article. Just talked about his leadership qualities as a young quarterback and kind of talked to Kyra, you know, he's young for his position, Kyra's young for his position, and just, you know, can he lead us the way Mahomes led? I mean, he's one of the most talented, maybe the most talented quarterback in the league right now.
Romulus High School.
A lot of good memories there. Shoot, right off I-94, right outside Detroit. Won a lot of games there, and a lot of players come out of there. Shoot, that's kind of where I cut my teeth in this whole coaching deal. So that was fun. I had 7-Eleven going in my classroom too to raise some money. So, you know, we had everything going, fundraising, the whole deal.
There you go. Trevor Relaford. We know him.
4-time All-SEC. Married to my administrative assistant. He's got a good wife. She's good at her job. So I try to follow him. He's been super supportive of us. He comes in, plays our guys in the summer. Shoot, I could use him right now. I know that. I'm trying to see if there's some more players in Kansas City who look kind of like him. We can go bring back here. We could use a guy that's 4-time All-SEC in here.
How about Zion? We could use him.
Yeah, shoot, I think anybody could. Shoot, I saw him play AAU. I mean, he's super talented, one of the most talented kids I've ever seen play live in person. Well, he's like 270 and jumps out of the gym. I mean, the problems with his knee might have been predicted. When that much weight's landing from that high up in the air, I mean, he's super talented and really athletic too. A little bit like, probably can't mention Auburn player. I was gonna say a little bit like Barkley, the round mound to rebound. He's a little bit bigger, but really athletic.
Luke Aikens.
Shoot, where did they come up with that name? That's like my best friend growing up. Like, we went to like kindergarten all the way up through college. He could really shoot. We played Division III together, and
there you are.
Yes, yeah. See, that's our college uniforms, or maybe that might have been high school uniforms. We played in high school and college together. He came out for a game. He came out to a football game. Our Georgia Tech. Still stay in touch with him. He's a lot thinner back then. He's weighs a little bit more right now.
Well, that was a lot of fun once again with the word association game. We'll learn a little more about Alabama's Beetle Bolden when we come back to the Nate Oats Show.
The retreat, it was fun, honestly. It brought us together as a whole, coaching staff and players. My favorite artist right now would probably be Gunna. So far, I think it's gotta be a tie, Big J and G. I'm a pretty outgoing guy. I'm a fun guy to be around. Positive vibes. Only positive vibes.
Bolden from downtown.
Beetle Bolden, a great young man. I know you love having him as part of your first team here at Alabama.
Shoot, I mean, he's fearless. I mean, you see what he does. He throws his body in there. I mean, he doesn't weigh a whole lot. He has no fear, though. I mean, he takes charges on the biggest guy, try to block out the biggest guy, plays with a ton of energy, super active. We almost, we got to dial him back a little bit so we can keep him in the game and out of foul trouble. One of the best pure shooters I've ever coached, too. It's been a little bit unfortunate with his health issues he's had here, that he just wasn't healthy the whole time, because I think, he's starting to come into, I think he's playing a lot better. He's getting healthier, getting his legs under him. You saw what he brought us, double digits these last 2 games, tons of energy, and really, if it wasn't for him, we don't cut that lead. After we got down big in the Auburn game, I thought he really helped bring us back and get us back into that game with his play there in the first half in the Auburn game.
Big games from Beetle Bolden against Georgia and also Auburn. And every time the Crimson Tide are playing well, social media is always buzzing. So it's time to fire up the Twitter machine and see what people are saying. First of all, the SEC Network really fired up about Kyra Lewis Jr. with that career-high 37 against Georgia.
Yeah, it was good. We got the win, and he career high. I mean, he's super talented guard. And tell him the kind of defense dictates whether you're going to score a bunch or get a bunch of assists. I think these back-to-back games showed that. He follows 37 up with 13 assists. So I think as long as he's aggressive, he'll make the right reads. He's a really unselfish kid.
Tom Stipe, he's our engineer on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, said it wasn't 22nd and 26 like football a couple years ago, but overtime heartbreak for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, that was against Georgia. We had the 2nd and 26.
Yeah, 2 to Devontae Smith 2 years ago.
I remember the 2nd and 26. I forgot who that was against. So, yeah, it was good. It's good to go in there and get a win. A little heartbreak for Georgia's not bad for him.
Not at all. Chris Stewart also keeping with that 2nd and 26 theme. He's got a golf shirt that has it written on there, so he was glad to wear that to Georgia, get another overtime win against the Dogs.
I like it from Chris. He never lets anything pass him up. He's pretty bright, so I didn't realize he had that on. But no, I saw that. I think Mobley and Son sells that shirt, if I remember right.
William Galloway talking about the Crimson Tide at the free throw line, really clutch shooting.
No, we did. We made free throws when we needed them to. It's kind of been a Achilles heel somewhat here the last time. So I thought we made them late in that game when we needed them. Shaq's been pretty big for us all year at the free throw line. So it's good to see us put them in there late when we needed to send it to overtime and then win the game in overtime.
Noah Hurley's getting pretty stressed out.
Am I supposed to know Noah Hurley?
No, but
You know what? This sounds like my mom, too. Every time we have a close game, she says she's stressing her out and she can't deal with the stress. So everybody around the office, I think it's everybody that cheers for us, he gets stressed out. So maybe Noah and everybody else.
And Javon Quinterly talking about Herb Jones.
JQ's a great teammate. Love him. I think everybody's going to be super excited once he gets here. And he's giving Herb props. I mean, shoot, it's true. He's got multiple stops with one arm. I mean, let's give him 2 arms and see what he can do. I mean, I think he proved his worth to us kind of when he's been out here.
And the Crimson Tide's account talking about Mr. Triple-Double, Kyra Lewis Jr.
Yeah, I mean, first player in almost 25 years. I mean, Roy Rogers is a pretty good player, so Roy Rogers had a pretty good career. Hopefully Kyra goes on and has a great career too, but I was super happy with him. When he gets rebounds and we're in transition, that's when we're at our best. So I think the more rebounds he gets, the more assists he's going to have, the more points he's going to have. I think the scorekeeper screwed up. He's got 13 assists, what we had him for. So, but that's all right. It's a triple-double, whether it's 12 or 13.
And then the Crimson Tide again setting not only school records, but SEC records for three-pointers.
And we fired him up that game, that's for sure. We need to get the ball in the paint, get some more kick-out ones. But, shoot, I told our guys I don't want them passing up open threes. So our guys play with a lot of freedom. They got the green light to shoot them. If you're a shooter, get in the gym and work because you're going to be able to shoot them. So Petty's one of the best shooters in the country. He's good. So.
And again, the Hard Hats are coming back this Saturday when Alabama takes on LSU. Once again, you want to see the blue-collar mentality inside Coleman Coliseum.
Yeah, we're going to have to get our rebounding short up. So the Hard Hats, that's kind of blue-collar. Rebounds deal with blue-collar. Hopefully the Hard Hats in the stands remind our guys they got to rebound the ball. We struggled rebounding it against Auburn last night and against LSU last time. It's going to be a big part of the game against LSU here at home Saturday. We'll talk more about Alabama, LSU, plus what's coming next for Crimson Tide basketball when we come back to the Nate Oats Show.
Downtown Tuscaloosa on a gorgeous night. Have you enjoyed kind of getting to explore Tuscaloosa a little bit more, even downtown?
Yeah, before the season, once the game started up, don't have a whole lot of free time to be doing that, but it was great. Shoot, it looks like they're walking in short sleeves, and I don't know if this is a summer picture, if this is in the middle of February, because I'm not used to this weather. It's like 75 degrees in the middle of February the other day.
It was a little bit crazy. Well, the Crimson Tide coming home to Tuscaloosa this week. First of all, the LSU Tigers, one of the top teams in the league. What'd you learn about Alabama from the last game at LSU?
I mean, we've got fight in us. We just had about a 10-minute stretch there in the first half where we let the game get away from us. So we got to come out and bring it for 40. If we bring it for 40, we can definitely compete with them. But they're athletic. They rebound hard. They play hard. They got a really seasoned backcourt with Skylar Mays and Javonte Smart. So we're going to have to – our defense has to be a lot better. We got to keep their guards in front of us. We really got to rebound the basketball.
And then after that, another home challenge coming up Wednesday when Alabama welcomes in Texas A&M.
Yeah, you know what? Buzz has them playing really, really hard. Their talent level is maybe not quite as good as some of the other teams in our league, but they do have some talent. They've got a really athletic guard. I haven't looked at them a ton. We haven't played them yet. We've already played LSU and LSU's first, but I have seen them just in some scout stuff. I think they're playing hard. They mix up their defenses, kind of muck it up a little bit, and he's doing a really good job. Their record's probably a little bit better than what some people thought they were going to be this year.
So again, it's Alabama at home on Saturday against LSU, and then Texas A&M coming up this Wednesday, both games at Coleman Coliseum. For the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Nate Oats, I'm Roger Hoover saying roll Tide, and thank you for watching The Nate Oats Show.
Thanks, Roger.
This has been a presentation from Learfield IMG College.